Hey, it's Jeff with ID10T Garage, and we're back working on the 71 Torino. In this week's episode, we're going to go ahead and start working on the kick panel. We got to get that metal replaced, and then we're going to start fabricating up our top of our torque box. So we'll do that and get everything cleaned up and start getting it prepped to actually weld that top in. So let's get to it.
In my veins, I've been driving this train, years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame, cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stop.
Alright, here we are about to get back to work on the 71 Torino. We're going to start working on that kick panel on the driver's side. So basically I'm going to have to cut it out and also try to, there's a lip. So I'm going to try to save that lip too. That way I can just spot weld it all together and then seam seal it. So basically that's what we're going to start with and start getting it out. So let's get to it. Alright, there it is, our brand new kick area all welded in. So that turned out really well, especially in comparison to the other side. One nice solid chunk. Looks pretty good on the inside as well, but we'll have to seam seal this up, especially around this bottom area. And of course I like to seam seal all this up, so we'll have to grind it down a little bit, smooth it out a little bit, but for the most part it's in there nice and solid. Now we don't have some big rust hole here or on the back side. So we'll still have to work on some stuff next episode. Like I said, we're gonna keep on working on this stuff. This is the support I need to work on, and then main focus tomorrow or whatever day I'm back out here is going to be working on that top of that torque box. But I'm pretty happy with the way this kick panel turned out in comparison to the other side especially. That's what happens when you use just one nice piece instead of 3 different pieces patching everything together. Hey everybody, it's another day in the garage and we're about to get back to work on this torque box. So I'm going to turn the camera around and kind of show you what we're going to do. So what we have here is our torque box. And I need to create this top section for it. So I have a flat piece and I'm going to cut it to match over here and then line it up like that. So we're going to match it to the angle of this. So then I'm going to take another piece of 14 gauge and basically match it to this curve, probably use a clamp to make sure we got the right angle, and then I'll tack weld it to this piece that right here, and then we'll take this line and scribe all the way across it to make sure we get the right angle. And then once we're done with that and we have that tack welded in place and where we want it, I'll then do the same thing, is I'll put it back up here, and then I'll make the piece that go all the way down here. So, and then we'll figure out if we need to make some brackets to attach it and all that stuff. But that's what we're about to get to. Let's do it. Alright, there's our first piece, the backer slight angle. I welded along this back edge and then ground it back down nice and smooth, so we have a nice weld to hold it together, as well as our couple spot welds to start piecing it up. So now we got to start working on that front plate, so back to work. Alright, there it is. All fabbed up. The top to our torque box. Got 2 screws holding it in right now, and that. Now obviously we got other work to do before we can weld it in, but we've got it made. So I'm gonna call it a day. Later. Hey everybody, we're back out here about to finish up the top to our torque box basically. So I'm gonna add some lips to the outside edge of it. That way we can just spot weld this in place, so we don't have to make a bunch of seam welds and still have everything the way we want it. So about to work on that, then we'll probably start cleaning up the torque box to get it ready to basically prep it to be able to paint that and then weld it in. So that's what we're about to do. Later. Alright, so I got my nice little lip on this end now as well, and then I marked where everything is sitting for the most part. So now we're just going to start cleaning up this area, prep it for welding. I also want to get some paint on the inside of it. So just doing some basic stuff. I still got a lot to do before we weld it in, but you know, we want to go ahead and get it cleaned up and get some paint, let the Rust-Oleum sit and dry and such. So that's what we're about to do. Alright, we got the area all cleaned up, got a coat of Rust-Oleum on there. We'll still have to put our weld through primer on there. While I was at it off camera, I cut out and welded in a patch on the support for the transmission. It wasn't fully rotted out. There was a good chunk of it that was just kind of rotted, so I cut it out and patched it in with the old piece of bumper frame, or I'm sorry, bumper bracket. So that's in there nice and structurally sound, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. But that's pretty much going to be it for the day. Let this paint dry. I still got to figure out a couple other things. I forgot about the bracket that goes from here to the frame rail behind this. So I need to see what I'm going to do with that before I completely weld this together. But we're a couple steps away getting this torque box welded together and moving on to our floors. So later. Hey, thanks everybody for tuning into this week's episode. We got a lot of work done. We got the kick panel with a nice fresh piece of metal on it and got it welded in smoothly. Got that top of that torque box built and pretty much all the lips on it ready to go so we can spot weld it in. I got to drill a couple holes and do some more cleanup. We got to get the torque box gusset removed and possibly patch up the frame rail a little bit below it before we do that. So I ordered some 69 Mustang gussets because the one I'm looking at on this driver's side is pretty roached out. It looks like it has a plate welded on top of it, so it's just not right. So I'm going to go ahead and try to use that 69 gusset to get it right back where it needs to be and structurally sound. So, but till next week when we get that welded in, just like, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you later.
In my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off.